I want to win, really bad, and I like to show that through my game. I like to people to feel the passion that not only I play with, but with my team, because it's hard. It's really hard in this league to win. So when I get going and I just go literally into a whole another phase in my mind where I'm like, by any means necessary, we're going to win. And it doesn't matter if the scoreboard says something different. I want to leave the 94 feet I play on feeling like, no, I won that battle. And I think today we took a lot of things personal because out of their wins, two of them was on us. And it was, yeah, they were nail biters or OTs, whatever. But like that wasn't us. Like it should have never been that way. So I think we all were just very hungry in that sense. So when I got that A1, it was just a feeling of like, no, we're about to win this. Like we're about to just vibe out.
And then that technical foul, we weren't really able to see what happened just from your vantage point.
Yeah.
What kind of led to that?
So I got fouled on one end. I got. I don't really like to talk about my fouls, and they're probably gonna find me. But I got fouled, and it's okay. Like whatever. No call. Obviously, I'm getting used to it. Then we go back down, and they call the foul, and I don't think personally it was a foul. So I was very frustrated in that sense because it's just it just gets frustrating at some points. Honestly, it does. And the same way I like to show my passion, I also like to show that all that glitters is not gold. And so in that sense, I told my teammates I apologize for them, but it was just something that was just like I get not calling some things, but the blatant fouls we have to call them. Particularly from the forward standpoint in the post, we get beat the heck up all the time. And it's like we sometimes take a lot of things to the chin, but the blatant ones are the ones that we have to call. And it just worries me that we're not getting those calls. And I'm not just saying we as aces, but as a whole collective as a forward. So I just got frustrated and I disagree. I was not on their side on that one.
Asia, congrats on the win. Their third quarter, talk about just the contributions, right? Getting Sid in the game there, getting able to give you guys a little bit of spark, and also what both Sid and Tiff brought to the mix for you guys tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I was pleading and tooting Sid's horn last game. I felt like she should have played in New York a little bit, and so I was very glad that the showing that she had today was something that we really needed. I mean, our bench production was great. It gave us the spark that we, no pun intended, gave us the spark that we needed. And we accept, like, we need that out of them every single game. And like Becky was saying, like, it's hard to go from DMPs to now throwing you in the fire, but they're always ready. So the contributions from her, Tiff, that whole lineup with Meg, like, it was just a way of, like, great energy. And we need that, particularly now because we're tired. We are. No one cares, but we are. So when you can have your bench come in and kind of just we're not asking them to go for 50, but just do their job, it takes a lot of pressure off of me for sure. Thank you.
Yesterday it felt like you coming off a lot of screens to set up post touches.
Yeah.
Today it was you coming off of screens to set up more perimeter catches. I guess in terms of your usage, how much of a voice do you have? Not only to say I want the ball, but I want the ball in this particular setup.
Honestly, I don't really have a lot of say in that because I'm the type of person where I want to be put in any situation and make the best out of it. I don't want to just, but I also know how my defenders like to guard me. In some spaces, I think about where do they want me to go and settle versus where can I get to and annihilate. And so in this case, I feel like playing in space, particularly around this part of the year, it's going to be a lot more in my favor versus back to the basket because the way the defenses are being set up, it's a lot of just clock the paint, clock the paint, clock the paint, clock the paint. And so like I can't see anything. I really don't get out of it. They're not calling anything. So it just drains me. So in this case, when you have a defender that's kind of more lanky, that's jumpy, that wants to get like underneath you, kind of playing in more space because now I can dictate exactly where I want to go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Asia, when you got the putback of the Kelsey miss, I mean, that was the most emotion that I saw where you kind of felt because you could see the game going to where you guys would get it up 8, 9, 10, and it go back to 3, 4, 9. At that time, did you feel, okay, this is the bucket, now we're going to go the other way?
Yeah, for sure. I love those type of backbreaker plays, and I get tired of people doing backbreaker plays on us. So it felt good to kind of have that kind of flip, and that was our time. And I think this was one of shot pretty decent today. This is one of our best games, honestly, that we've played, and we need those type of games. We need those confidence games. So yeah, in that moment, that was kind of like the backbreaker for us to just be like, all right, let's keep this going.
Hey, Asia, with everything you talked about yesterday with the 1-2 factor, wanting to win, along with any sort of outside noise that might be coming into this game. And the past two matchups against LA, how important was the mental aspect going into this game?
I think it was very important. I think it's just even more important that we're coming off of a loss. I think that stung a lot. And obviously, like I said, them having 2 wins on us was also the biggest thing that we really didn't like. So coming in, I think we were all on the same page of just like, we got to take care of business at this point. I feel like we've lingered around. We've kind of just been in la land thinking that teams are going to lay down for us. And that's not the case. They actually want to beat our ass. So I think now it was kind of like a wake up factor. That's like, no, we have to really flip the switch and play Aces basketball. And I think you saw that today.
We're gonna jump to Zoom. Jordan, go ahead.
Hey Asia, congrats on the win. So real quick before I get to my question, I want to wish you a happy belated birthday. As a fellow Leo's, I'm glad that I said that. And then my question for you is, obviously the foul trouble and turnovers kind of bit you guys early on, but just tell me how you guys were able to, overcome that, especially in the second half.
Not shying away from it. I mean, we can't help what they call. We can always cut back from it a little bit, but we never wanted to just stop playing and being afraid of the whistle. But they were calling it a lot today. I was like, dang, all right. But sometimes when the games are like that, you just got to continue to be yourself and stay within your system and make sure that we're selecting the best shot on the floor. And I think over time, they started to break down, and we saw that.
Thank you.
I'm out. Hell yeah. See ya. Oh.
All right, first question for Coach.
Hey Becky, right in the middle. Congratulations on the win today. I bet it's gotta feel good coming off of the loss yesterday, but I do have a difficult question for you, an uncomfortable question. So first time Diarca has been back into the Las Vegas home court since she filed the suit. I know you can't talk about it specifically, but my question is, what would
I can give you
like-
some facts. I can give you some facts. Want some facts?
I do want facts, and I also would like to know, what would you like to tell people about your integrity as a coach and the integrity of the organization you work for?
Here's some facts. I've been in either the WNBA or the NBA for now 25 years. I've never had an HR complaint, never, not once. I still didn't actually, because Diarca didn't file any. She didn't file with the Players Union. She didn't file with the WNBA. Those are facts. It's also factual that nobody made a call about trading her until Atlanta called us in January. That's a fact. Okay. And so, to me, I mean, it just didn't happen. I'm sorry, the bullying. I spoke with her every day. She wanted to practice, she practiced. If she didn't, she didn't. Over the top care, actually. Over the top care. That's a fact.
Any questions on the game?
Yeah, Coach. Sometimes, when you're not happy with the team's performance, the best thing is to have another game right away. And they came out and the lead gets up to 10, back to 3, up to 10, back to 3. Finally, in that third quarter, you could see that it turned on Asia's putback of Kelsey's miss. And when the lead got up to 19, I think that was probably the first time I think I saw half a smile from you. So, which is good, because I like a coach that has the game face and is never completely happy, because there's always something to work on. But how pleased were you overall with the performance today?
I mean, it's a difficult situation for us. We had 6 peoples over in another time zone, 9 hours away for a lengthy period of time, and to come back and play the best team in the league, and then on a back-to-back. So I thought overall it was a really great win. I thought our bench played wonderfully. Really gave us a spark and a push that we needed. So, I mean, you gotta be happy with the win. You gotta celebrate the wins. They're hard to get against anybody in this league, because they're all quality opponents. Thank you.
Coach, yesterday you talked about not being so happy with the ball, not moving the way you wanted to. Today, 14 assists for the team. You felt like the ball was moving a little bit better today in the win?
Nope.
Hi, Coach. Two questions, if that's okay. One, there was a pocket in, I want to say the third quarter, where you had Kelsey, Jackie, and Chelsea on the bench at the same time. Is that just game flow stuff, or is that something you want to be able to get to a little bit more, the rest of those? But
I just didn't like what I was seeing up there. I didn't think we were playing together as a unit. I didn't think we were playing great defense, so I put the second unit in there. And they did great. Like I said, they kind of turned the game around with their defensive energy. I think they got 3 or 4 stops in a row, which I don't know if we did that all year. 4 stops in a row. So they just kind of amped it up. And, you know, they got their chance to come back in and, you know, we go on and play. So sometimes you're just trying to push buttons, and there's certain ways to hold people accountable, right? Money and minutes, that's what players know and understand. So they're gonna get their money, but the minutes you want minutes, you gotta play the right way, and you gotta play defense. That's it.
Becky, you've talked at several points this season about relying on the fact that Tip is such a storied vet in this league. She picks up 2 quick fouls in the first 4 minutes. You opt to not take her out. I'm wondering, how do you kind of focus on, or how do you go about kind of towing that line when you want to save a player from themselves while also letting the player kind of play through it?
With her, I mean, maybe she gets a night where she gets 30 or 35 points, but that's really not her role. So there's times where I'm like, she's going to play around 25 minutes. I really like her, and that's fun. I like her to be explosive and playing hard. So she gets a couple fouls, that's fine. It's a little different when KP or Chelsea or Jackie or Asia gets really 2 early ones, to where I know they're going to be up more around that 30-minute mark. So, and not only that, I like some of the physicality and just stir it up factor and dog factor. Go out. I'm okay with foul here and there.
Becky, obviously, the third quarter was big time for you guys, right? As far as it felt like kind of a turnaround type of deal. Just talk about the impact that bringing that second unit, especially Sid as well as Tiff, what they bring to the table for your team as you move forward here throughout the rest of the regular season.
Look, I think, you know, we talked about it at halftime, just having another gear defensively. You know, we're not playing as fast kind of as I want to. Like, I want more shots up. I don't think we're getting enough volume. But a lot of that has to do with playing out of our defense, getting stops. There hasn't been a lot of like kick ahead, run out, like easy stuff. We've had to really work for everything we've gotten. And if we can get some of those possessions that happen quicker playing out of our defense, I think maybe we'll get more, you know, attempts. Because being in the 60s or the 70s even, like I want more attempts. So we got to play faster. Doesn't mean we have to shoot faster. We have to play faster. So we still feel like we have a lot of room for improvement and growth. We know we can get there. I think you see really pockets of really great basketball, and then you see pockets of really not good basketball. So it's really the consistency that we're trying to nail down more than anything.
Questions for Kelsey?
Kelsey, what did it take mentally just for these back-to-back games coming back from the Olympics?
I could play another one tomorrow, so I feel good. I mean, that's, you know, I love to play, and I'm not. I wasn't playing 40 minutes a game in Paris, you know, so I knew that we're gonna come back and just try to stay in shape and be ready for a tough schedule. We play a lot of games in a short amount of time, but pretty confident in the preparation and all good.
Coach, you got the big 3 step beyond the screen. I did in third quarter. I just thought that shot. It was, I mean, the rotation, because I'm watching, I'm right behind it. I'm watching going. I knew that was in when you let it go. But you haven't been able to get a lot of good open looks. I know you can bury those all day. You worked for that one, but it was a beautiful shot. Did that give you the confidence you needed to finish out the game strong?
No, sir. I have a lot of confidence. So whenever my number is called, I'm going to figure out how to make a play. I mean, I think that, you know, being a shooter in this league, people scout that. So, you know, they're prepared on certain plays and stuff like that. But just gotta figure out how to manipulate the defense to get them where you want to go. And sometimes it'll open up earlier in the game, sometimes it's later. But I knew if I was going to get some more space, then I was going to be able to knock it down.
Kelsey, coach talked about the bench and everything like that. AJ even mentioned too, just the weight that kind of takes off of your guys' shoulders when the bench is involved like that.
Yeah.
How different is that group when you're getting that kind of minutes from the bench?
They're awesome. Their energy was infectious. Cindy Colton coming in and just making plays, even though like that one she didn't get the steal, just like super active and the ball's popping and they're playing fast, and that's like kind of to our advantage. So they've been awesome all year. They're always in the gym. They were here during the break, so I know that they're prepared. And we play a pretty tough schedule at the second half of the season, so we know we're going to go deep into the bench, and I have all the confidence in the world in them.
One final question to consider.
That emotion from Asia after that and one play, you were right behind her when she was stomping like that. And even like for you after that pull-up jumper in transition, how much do you feed off each other's emotions on the court?
Yeah, I thought she almost like low-key punched me because she was right there. I had to like dodge that one, but for sure. I mean, it's definitely energy is always infectious and contagious, and she was dominant tonight as she is usually always. So yeah, I just didn't give a shit. I was just gonna pull up and shoot the three and transition anyway. So yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, ladies.